Before we move on, we are going to go into the next session where we'll consider the VAR, the controversial VAR decision, and then also we'll take a look at the upcoming fixtures in the UEFA Champions League. Pick one. VAR, your pick. Before I go into the question, your overview of VAR so far, especially in the EPL and then other leagues where VAR has been introduced. What's
I
your
think
take?
I think generally it's been good, but like every system has its own faults. Because human beings are still all manner. So there'll be some controversial VAR decisions, some decisions that VAR overlooked that has got people beginning to think about VAR taking advantage. Think the EPL, for instance, VAR who sat the, the lead referee of the VAR who sat in against Everton, um, Liverpool has now been penalized. I think they didn't allow him able to officiate for the next fixtures that we'll see. So that tells you that they were quite unhappy what happened,
Yeah.
especially concerning Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Because many people think that Van Dijk, Pickford should have been sent off. Challenge on Van Dijk, but the VAR didn't look at it. VAR simply looked at whether Van Dijk was in an offside position.
Yeah.
Clearly, he was in an offside. Once he was in an offside position, he didn't look at the Pickford challenge, whether it was a violent conduct.
Yeah.
That's where people have the sense. And of course, the referee, VAR, you are brought there. It's called video assistant referee. You are there to assist the referee because it's not everything you see, especially emotion.
Yeah.
A split of an eye, right? A split of a second, sorry. It's not everything Oliver would have seen. So you are there to assist him, to draw his attention to the things that he does not see because he doesn't have the benefit of it. So sorry for that. So it was a big concern that the VAR, it was shocking the VAR didn't take a look at that challenge. And some people have their minds on the Mane goal, the last minute goal that should have been the winner. Whether or not they got the call right, was it an offside or not? Well, I think that is subjective because depending on what you look, sometimes you see that was a fraction is even too much. I don't know the word behind fraction that we can use to show how tight the call was. And that is just how in football can move from winning a match to
Yeah.
drawing it or to losing. It takes something very little. And in this case, we saw it. It was just margins that brought the match from a win to a. So yes, VAR have had these issues, and I think most especially in the EP, simply because in the EPL they are now trying to apply stuff that others, the top five, were already applying, especially handball stuff.
Yeah.
The VAR, they are now even going to consult monitor. Last season, we saw how they did it. The
Yeah.
referees didn't have the chance to go and watch the monitors. They simply had to rely on what the video assistant referee will tell them. They'll make their decisions. But they have now come in because first they were cocooned, especially with the handball rule. People are saying, oh, the new handball rule. It's news flash. The fact that EPL is now coming on board does not make it new. Other
Yeah.
leagues had been using it for 2 seasons. And if you realized, um, teams that played in the Champions League, like Liverpool, stuff, they were already used to it. Already used to the fact that when the offside is marginal, you have to continue playing the game. because the linesman will not raise it. He will only raise the flag after, because once he sees there is action, it will lead to a goal or something, and he has a doubt in his mind, he will not raise it. And that was happening in other parts of it and the Champions League. Right. But now defenders are getting used to it in the EPL especially. Because when you are playing, you know when it's offside, you know when it's marginal, and you tend to, for a split second, look at the linesman to see if you raise it. But here is the linesman who is also saying, okay, I thought I saw an offside, but let me let it finish. So it makes the reaction time of the defender a bit delayed. So to take some time for them to now get used to it, that now they, hey, I won't look at the linesman. Even if I know it's offside, let me recover, let me play on. And after the play has been completed, whether it leads to a goal or not, you see the decision of the linesman, whether actually it's an offside. So this with the handball. The only difference right now that cuts across is when between the shoulder and the hand. There used to be a lot of controversy. And in the La Liga last season, I know I'm a Barca fan. A lot of Barca fans were really appeased because Messi scored a similar goal where the ball rubbed off his hand and shoulder. The goal wasn't taken. Karim Benzema scored a similar goal. The goal was taken. Right. But now I think the rules are clear on that. Once the ball touches your shoulder, it's acceptable. So if it touches your shoulder, between your shoulder and the arm, it's acceptable. Play does go and the goal will be taken. So no room for a referee to take matters on his hand, and one referee will decide that it's a handball, another will decide that it's a shoulder ball. So I think that's the only minute difference in that has now come to stay with all. But with the rest of the handball, whether in attacking phase or defensive phase, I think the rest of Europe are in it. And now that it has been introduced in, or now that the English FA have decided to apply it so that they will be consistent with the rest of becoming something for pundits, old players, and players alike. They were talking about it but I think with time, the noise is dying down as far as the handball is concerned. Everybody is getting used to it. But the other errors, such as what we saw on Van Dijk and offside, I think those will continue going VAR across you. Those decisions, quite especially when the referee already took an offside. So it's like whatever happened was after the fact. So the referee did not put it in his report. He did put it in his report as having seen it, but didn't see it as a violent conduct. And once he saw it and he didn't deem it as a violent conduct,
the VAR was supposed to intervene.
Report, the FA cannot intervene. Right. So who would have intervened would have been the VAR during the game itself. To tell him that yes, you saw it, you didn't think it's a violent conduct, but after looking at the replays, I think it is. Go and look at it again. That didn't happen. We are here now.
That was a clear error leading to a misapplication of the law. But nonetheless, we will move on. Last on the agenda, we are going to look at the Champions League fixtures for today and then tomorrow. Today we have Zenit St. Petersburg. I will quickly share the screen. I think for today we have Zenit St. Petersburg and then Bruges. This one looks like match of equals, right? Zenit and Club Brugge.
Zenit and Club Brugge, with Zenit playing at home, yes, match of equals, but I think Zenit St. Petersburg have the advantage side.
Okay.
So I think they should be able to win. At worst, it's a draw.
Okay, that's fine. Dynamo Kiev hosting Juventus all the way in Ukraine.
Come again, I didn't get that.
Dynamo Kiev, Juventus.
Oh, Dynamo Kiev, Juventus. Juventus haven't really been doing well in Champions League, especially away matches. Having said they don't do well, I don't mean they lose it, but they struggle to even win, and sometimes they draw. Right? And having in mind that Cristiano Ronaldo play, that also throws a lot of doubt in it. But I think the worst for Juve is a draw.
Okay.
I'm not expecting too much goals because we are taking a goal machine out of the team.
The team.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting too much goals in this one. So the worst be a draw for Juventus. But if there will be a win, looking at more than goals in this one.
Okay. That's fine. RB Leipzig against Istanbul Başakşehir.
Clearly a Leipzig win.
Okay.
They'll give the people from Istanbul, the Turkish side, a baptism of fire today. Julian Nagelsmann and their attacking play.
It'll be
They
too
are
much.
winning not less than 2 clear goals.
Okay. That's fine. Stade Rennes versus Krasnodar.
Stade Rennes versus Krasnodar. We've known of Krasnodar. They are one of those teams that come into Europe, especially even in the Champions League sometimes, and they show a decent performance, especially when home. But I think Stade Rennes are playing at home, right?
Yeah, Rennes are playing now.
Yeah. So with Stade Rennes playing at home, I think a drawn game might happen here.
Okay.
And if there will be a win, either team will win by just a goal, 1-0.
Okay. Lazio at home to Dortmund. Lazio.
Lazio at home to Dortmund. If all things go well, this should be a goal first.
Yeah.
Right? we are going to see two attacking sides doing what they do best. But the only unfortunate thing is the Lazio we knew last season, we are not seeing the Lazio in the early parts of this season. I really hope they do show up.
Yeah.
We are not seeing the wonders of Chiro Mobile coming to the fore. It's not
Yeah.
giving us the numbers he was given last season. Right. So we are just hoping that the Lazio we know last season will show up. If they do show up, then we are going to have an interesting game with lots of goals. But if they don't show up, then we are going to see Dortmund go to Italy, go to conquer Baku.
Okay. Chelsea, Seville.
Very interesting game. Very, very, very interesting. Chelsea coming up against Sevilla. We already spoke about Chelsea's inability to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Coming up against a team who really defend. Sevilla are a very organized side. They defend well. They don't give too much goals. Someone will say, oh, but they lost against Granada 1-0. Like I already said before, yeah, they had 7 of their players going for international. Came back. They lost Yus Kunde, fantastic defender, to COVID. And then Escudero was to cover for him. In the course of the game, Escudero also got out injured. They had to bring in Acuna, who is not a left back, is a left winger, to now come and play left back. And today, that might be their biggest concern because Escudero is still out, Yus Kunde is still out. So we are going to have Acuna playing in the left back. And coming up against Pulisic is going to be interesting for Acuna. I think he would really have a tough time.
Tough time.
So if Chelsea can keep their back tight, they may be able to draw some result from this and maybe a draw. But I would want to say what people will not want to hear. Sorry, Chelsea fans. I think Sevilla coming as favorites. Mainly because their last meeting with EPL teams, I think their last 3 or 4, they've won all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they play, they've won it. Chelsea in their last 9 matches against Spanish side have only managed 1 win, drawn 5, lost 3. The only 1 win came as far back as 2017.
Hmm.
Right.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
when you are looking at a team that just won the Europa, that just played against a Bayern Munich, and this is where I am saying that Chelsea will have a problem. People will be looking at Kai Havertz, looking at Timo Werner, looking at Pulisic, and say that wow, we have an attacking threat. But sit down and pause and reflect. Bayern Munich came to Sevilla with
They
Coman,
really suffered.
Leroy Sané, Lewandowski, and we all saw how robust these guys were defending.
Yeah.
So now, just oppose Chelsea's attack. Individually, very good players, but they are still a work in progress. So don't put too much pressure on them. They're still a work in progress, right? So even if they manage to score 1 or 2, the big question is Chelsea's defenders able to prevent Sevilla of Lucas Ocampos, of Suso, Luke De Jong, who is so superb in the air, Ivan Rakitic playing behind them. Will Chelsea's defense be able to hold on to them? Because this is no Southampton.
Yeah.
This is no Southampton. This is Sevilla. And I think that no, Sevilla may win this one. Best for
Okay.
Chelsea. It's a drawn game, even though it's being played at Stamford Bridge.
Okay. Chelsea guys, Charlie, up to you. Over to you now. Uh, Match of the day for me, PSG, Manchester United.
Yeah, PSG, Manchester United. Sorry, Manchester United fans. There is no version of PSG that will show up today that Manchester team, the best Manchester team, will be better than. Yes, Manchester can pick their best starting lineup. No lineup that PSG will bring,
We'll be bad enough to
Manchester's
lose.
team will be better than.
Okay.
And that's a fact. People will say that, oh, but PSG don't have character. Yes, PSG and Man City don't have character, but not in group stages. If you have been
Please,
following
yeah.
Champions League, you will know this. You know that they don't have character when it matters, and that's the knockout stages. But in the group stages, those teams
Do well.
blow
Yeah.
out everything. They
Yeah.
come out guns blazing, season upon season. You see the top scorers in the Champions League group stage. You see Man City and PSG in the fray.
Yeah.
So Manchester United fans shouldn't kid themselves and think that they don't have character. Please, they have character in the group stage.
Good
And
stages.
quite frankly, they only lost the last season in the final to an unbeatable Bayern side. So last season they had the character
Yeah.
and they showed
Yeah.
it. And I think
You,
they have grown
you can
in
say that.
experience under Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
So today is going to be a tough one for Manchester. And let's also bear in mind that the last 2 seasons, it was Manchester United who went to Parc des Princes to go and
Yeah.
upset them after PSG having won 2-0 at the Old Trafford.
Revenge
They
in their
went,
minds.
saw a revenge, and took them out. So the question tonight is it going to be a repeat or a revenge? My answer is it will be a revenge.
Straight revenge.
PSG will over 2.5
Right.
goals. That is what is happening at the Parc des Princes.
Okay. Nice. And I think relatively the easiest match of the week, Barcelona hosting
Yes,
Ferencvaros. Ferencvaros.
yes, yes. It's an easy match on paper, yes, and I think it will be an easy match on the pitch. But what is critical today is Barcelona should win and win handsomely. Because if they don't, then people will start raising the question you
Pressure.
asked
Yeah.
that, hey, would it go well under Coleman? So
Yeah.
because these are signs that we should be blowing away.
Yeah. Use
And
them to build
tonight,
confidence.
yes, tonight Messi should also show up and grab a goal or two. Else, your question of has he lost it? Has he lost interest for the team? Rear its head again. So tonight, those are the critical things aside that, the match on paper and on the pitch will be easy as it.
Easy.
It's a
Yeah.
question of how well will Barca play, how many goals will Barca score, how many will Messi score, and once those boxes are ticked, then the confidence will come back. People will say, "Oh, Messi has his head in the team." If we end up winning 1-0, 2-0, having really played well, Messi not scoring, then the question will still remain: are we good enough?
Enough. Okay. Moving on. Tomorrow's matches: RB Salzburg versus Locomotive Moscow.
Salzburg really did a good job last season, the Champions League, albeit they couldn't qualify at the last minute when they faced Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Austria. I tip them to win. They play really
Win.
good football, really, really top-notch football, and there will be goals in there. So win over 2.5 for RB Salzburg.
Salzburg. Yeah. Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Shakhtar Donetsk.
Real Madrid playing at home, I guess.
Yeah, Real Madrid playing at home.
Yes, so Real Madrid without Sergio Ramos, but even so, they should be able to prosecute this one. And Real Madrid, like Barca, also have something to. They
Yeah.
would want to show whether there is crisis in the team or
Team.
not, or no crisis. And they did have a crisis meeting today, where
Okay.
Zidane expressed his concerns, and the big players and the boardroom staff all expressed their concerns of their lack of intensity over the weekend against Cadiz. And I think tomorrow be the right time to try and prove critics wrong, that it was just a blip that happened against Cadiz. They are back on song, especially having in mind that over the week we are going to have an El
Some
Clasico,
classic.
Real Madrid
Yeah.
at home. So both teams would really want to show that, hey, we are ready. Don't think that we are down, so that you can look forward to very nice El Clasico. So Real Madrid win
Okay.
this one.
Ajax hosting Liverpool.
Ajax Liverpool. Wow. Ajax, very good side who are very poor at home when it comes to Champions League. They do their best work away when you check, especially from last season, last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Right? They did their best work away for at home. I don't know what is at home in Champions League. They end up not really showing up, even though they will score lots of goals, but they will end up losing. But Virgil van Dijk is out. So I think Ajax may have a shot, but
Okay.
they be good enough to beat them because they've also lost Hakim Ziyech. They have lost Donny van de Beek. So Luis Mohammed has stepped in over the weekend. He really made well, scoring a goal, giving 2 assists. Dusan Tadic still in the match. But would they be good? I think this is one of the games that I may put down as a draw, and the winner is just a coin toss. Toss
Yeah.
the coin, whichever
You could
face
go
shows
either way. Yeah. That's fine. Manchester City hosting Porto.
straight win for Manchester
Manchester
City. Let's
City.
go for a goal first. Like I said earlier, when it comes to group stages, Man City and PSG are always on song. So for here, I think Man City will be EPL.
Midtjylland hosting Atalanta.
Um, who versus
Midtjylland.
Atlanta?
Midtjylland
Midtjylland,
versus.
Midtjylland playing at home, right?
Yes.
I think Atalanta will go see and conquer. They'll
Okay.
win. And
All right.
also expect goals because Atalanta are also an all-out attacking.
All right. Olympiacos Marseille.
Olympiacos Marseille, the Greeks versus the French. Marseille under AVB last season quite scintillating to watch. But if you have also followed the French league, I think they had played 6 matches, lost 1, drawn 3, won 2. Right. So they've been quite inconsistent as far as the wins are. And when you see the teams they drew with, we are talking about the likes of Mets, right?
Yes, yeah.
Not really a
Those small.
fanciful side they've drawn with, even though they managed to beat PSG in beginning of the season. So I am looking at they're going to Olympiacos and probably struggling to get
Draw.
a
Okay.
drawn game that much.
All right. Bayern versus Atletico Madrid.
Wow. I have always said that if there are teams that can beat Bayern, it is Atletico and Sevilla.
Sevilla.
And
Yes.
Sevilla proved my point. They nearly did it. They nearly upset the apples cut. And I think that Atletico Madrid are also one of those teams that can upset the apples cut. Even though on paper Bayern Munich come in as the favorites. But
Yeah.
don't rule Atletico Madrid out. They are never ruled out in any match, especially when the team is an all-out attacking team.
Yeah.
This is where Diego Simeone, it's those kind of matches they love. The matches that they don't take the initiative, but the other team takes the initiative and they react. So they sit down, do what you can do, throw everything at us. We get you on the break, go and score. We get a set piece, put in the corner, we head in 1-0, shut up shop, play the game. So even though Bayern Munich starts as favorites, no one should be surprised. This is the bet that if you want to bet, can risk on Atletico Madrid going away to go and steal, because their odds, I assume, will be bigger.
Yes.
So when you bet on only them, this is a risk you can take, even though Bayern is favorites to this match. And if they do win, then it will be win for Bayern by 2.5.
Okay. And last match, Inter Milan at home to Mönchengladbach.
Inter Milan have really, really disappointing this season. People thought they would be the contenders for the Serie A this season, Juventus, but so far they are not showing it, right? And it gets worrying when it's Champions League, because then again, Conte is not your manager for Champions League football. He's a superb manager, don't get me wrong, but Conte, even with Juventus, his best be around 16 quarterfinals, and then they are knocked out. Last season we saw them; they couldn't make it out of the group stage of the Champions League. Then they ended up in Europa League final. So they are not a team you really stick your neck out for when it comes to Champions League. Last season, even Barcelona were able to rest players the last match against Inter Milan. And Ansu Fati went to Giuseppe Meazza and scored the only goal 1-0 with all these toddlers playing the game. Inter Milan needed to win the game to have a chance of qualifying. They couldn't do it. So they are really a team that I don't really place much hope. Yes, against Mönchengladbach, they will look like favorites. But if you are to bet, you can ignore them. Ignore Inter Milan playing at home. But what you can probably think about is maybe under 2.5 goals. You can do that. Whoever wins,
that's fine.
under 2.5 goals is likely to happen.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, thank you, viewers. It has been another fantastic edition of Footy Sports. Thank you, Jude.
You are welcome. It's always my time.
All right, viewers, before we go sign out, kindly hit the subscribe button and then hit the small notification button so that you'll be notified anytime we bring out more exciting content. We thank you for taking a stay with us. See you. Bye.